Howdy everyone, Runt9 here, and welcome back to episode 11, part 2 of Runt9 Plays Monster Train. I was trying to figure out the naming nomenclature, if I wanted to make it like run whatever, part whatever. I'm like, we already have the episode numbers, we're just going to call this episode 11, part 2, and, you know, we'll make it fairly visible in the screenshot or the thumbnail, if at all possible. So in the last episode, we just beat up Daedalus. We got this excellent red-blue deck going. We do have a little bit of a thick deck, but a lot of it is with these draft units that may or may not survive. And our main synergy is we get Lady of the Reformed with Revenge, giving these units more burnout so they stick around for longer, and then hopefully boosting them up with some crazy amounts of rage. So one of the big things that we're going to be looking for are some of those rage artifacts. +1 rage per stack. Rage doesn't decay would just be like mind-blowingly good. But a lot of this comes down to what do we draw and when do we draw it. So now with our Hornbreaker Prince being a little bit better, I really would like to see him get a couple early kills to get that armor ticking. So I'm actually perfectly okay with him taking some early damage. The biggest problem though is these guys are going to die when they move up a floor. So I think what I would prefer is to just let you get a kill. We'll put Wickless Baron in the back, that'll get another harvest trigger, and then why not throw a Welder Helper in here as well. Start you off with some armor, that way all 3 of these die, you get 3 harvest triggers, you get a slay trigger. I think that works out well. And then this Dreg, I mean, there's really not much point in you existing right now, except you guys don't do enough damage for it to matter. So you might as well just go ahead and hit him for 9, start stripping some of that armor away. So now, ideally we would get this out of our hand. It all depends. I think we are probably still going to need to play the other 3 1-cost cards. So we need Steelworker. We're not going to be able to get through you to get to this back unit. At least that would be my assumption. You dying is probably a good thing. Let's start our Steelworker off with a little bit of extra armor. So if we put you in there with Rage 7, you're going to do 24 times 2. This guy would die. So you would do 10. That would bring you down to 29, 39 total. You would still take 2 hits to kill him. We would need to do a little bit more damage to you. So the way I think I want to play this, even though you're going to burn out, we still have a lot more in our deck. By putting the Dreg here, we still don't kill the Collector, unfortunately, but we do stop you guys from moving up a level. You're going to gain some armor. I think that may have been a little bit suboptimal, especially since we still took the 3 Pyre damage as well. So now we can get Lady of the Reformed down here with 2 draft units right out of the gate, and that's about as ideal of a situation as you could ask for. So she's going to take 2 hits. Ultimately, she's only taking 1. Oh, because these guys have quick. I always forget about how ridiculously good that is. So now we've got our bottom floor stacking up, and then how about we add 2 more Dreg units? And again, we are incredibly susceptible to sweep. And actually, you know what? I just found a fatal flaw in this plan. Wow, I can't believe I didn't realize that before. That is really bad, is now these units are going to burn out because they kill everything so quickly that she doesn't ever get hit to give them more burnout. That's a big whiff. I'm going to be honest with you, that is a really, really big whiff. I can't believe I just now realized that. So we're going to be in a really rough spot because I believe that's all of our dregs down. Or drafts. We have 1 more in our deck, and we're going to need to make that click somehow. We don't really have anything to use any of these on. We could double the rage up here, which I think is probably going to be what we want. And then we're going to have to hope and pray that we draw a draft this turn and that that's going to be enough. Definitely get you out there. I think we're going to want some stealth on friendly units. Now they're burning out, dude. All right. This is a little bit tough. I feel bad for messing this up so poorly. What if we just throw you in there? You're taking 67, and I guess just torch you. Alright, so definitely some major misplays on this one. We've got basically a handful of these garbage cards. We can only play 3 of them, so get these 3 out of our hand. And then we're just going to have to hope that our top floor does something useful. 51 damage isn't going to move the needle. Some really, really bad misplays on this one. You're taking 263. I think our Pyre lives, albeit just barely. Killing you gets you to 335, and so just play that. I mean, you're going to get, what, 2 Pyre hits off, 1 Pyre hit off? Losing another 11 Pyre health is not the end of the world. Yeah, that's all we're going to hit. That's okay. I can take that. You know, with all of the misplays we made for us to still be in that position, I'm actually perfectly okay with it. At this point, I'm going to say adding more rage to our deck is perfectly fine. Cleanse all units of effects which don't benefit Seraph. So the thing is, we do need to be careful about rage stacking though, since we do run into a situation where we're going to get half of our buffs and debuffs cleansed. And so we finally got something that has reform on it. I absolutely think that's a good one, especially since it's going to add the plus 10 attack. If we are able to get our draft units back, that could be incredibly powerful. And so I'm definitely on board with trying to dig for a really impactful artifact. Let's take a look at the shop first. Plus 3 stacks of burnout each time it's applied basically means that we can ignore the problem that we had last time. Because that gives us 4 stacks of burnout as soon as it happens. So that's like probably a run winner in and of itself with our drafts. But let's come back to that. We will come back to that. Gift of Gratitude. So at this point, obviously, Petty Theft is really, really nice. But we're getting to the point where 2 damage isn't going to do anything. Whereas Aggressive can definitely stack up nicely. And so like right now, you can see our Pyre does 66 damage, which can come in really handy. You don't realize how much you appreciate that artifact until you've had it a couple times, and it puts in serious work for you. So we're not going to be able to buy 2 artifacts here. I think Combustible Wax is a really, really good one. And then I think we also go for a Purge here and kick a Train Steward out of our deck. But we don't have enough to do that. We don't have enough to grab any more artifacts, and we're not going to waste a reroll just to see what we would have gotten. So let's jump into the next battle. Non-boss enemy units get multi-strike, and this is the multi-strike 4 guy. I mean, obviously these guys are going to do a good chunk of damage. I am okay with this though. We need the chance at artifacts as much as possible. And with our Pyre hopefully doing more damage, I'm a little bit less spooked by this. The other thing is multi-strike units are going to trigger things like Revenge multiple times as well. Now the question is, do we want to start off with our champion down here? We're looking at 4, 8, plus 12, so you would die unless we protected you. But at this point, our champion hasn't been stacking up too terribly much. This guy's going to have 85 HP. These 2 are going to die when they move up a floor. I'm like, ideally, we wouldn't even put anything on the bottom floor until we absolutely have to. So I'm going to say, let's stack up the middle floor a little bit. We're going to put our Steelworker on the top floor. And then we could put a draft in between them and just let him do some damage over the next 4 turns. Honestly, I want the Train Steward out of our deck. So do that, and then yeah, I'm actually okay with that. These guys are going to move up, you're going to take some damage, you're going to also get armor 10 from Harvest, which I'm okay with that. So that way they die, and now we don't have a way to kill you, I don't think. No, we don't. And our champion is looking at death right now. We don't exactly want him to stare death in the face. And the problem with putting a Molten Encasement in front is basically what would happen here is this would tank the first 10 hit. These guys would all get stealth, so nobody would tank a hit. You wouldn't get your rage 2. You would do your 18 damage, and then nothing would really happen. So I think the better scenario is that you still tank the 20 damage, but we give you 15 armor. And now you're almost dying. We definitely want to get Lady of the Reformed down on the bottom floor. And instead of taking 26 damage, how about you block the first hit of 6 and then get stealth so that nobody else hits you. You're going to hit him for 10, but this is going to die, so it's a net positive. We didn't get Steelworker out there. I think is a little bit of a whiff, but I'm still pretty okay with it. So go ahead and play the Pyre Chomper first, I would say. You're doing 20. This is a little bit of a weird one. I don't want you doing 20 damage to our Pyre. You have quick. So if we just put you up there, you're dead. You're going to be dead when you move up. It would be ideal to save you, but we don't have a way to descend units right now. So we're going to need to get you some armor. And let's start actually doing some damage on the bottom floor. We're going to want the 4 energy. So let's just put you up there. And that way we can put a Graph back here. And then a Welder Helper. Like, as much as I want to give you 15 armor, I don't really want the Welder Helper in the back. I'm going to be honest, I actually want to play it that way. It's a little bit dumb, but now you're tanking 3 of the 4 hits. You're only taking 7. And then go ahead and put this Drag up here as well, just to tank more hits, keep this Draft alive a little bit longer if he's not able to quick kill units. And so we added some extra burnout down here. That's obviously good eats. And then now I'm perfectly happy to just start throwing drafts out there as much as possible. I don't want to use Wicked Blaze here. So I realize that we're putting ourselves in the same situation we were last time. But if you're still going to take multiple hits here, then we're killing you. You're still all going to get some burnout. And maybe that's going to be okay. We don't have a way to heal you. We can hope to get another Welder Helper or something to block some damage. I mean, we could put the Drag out here. You would essentially nullify this first hit of 6. Oh, but you know what? You guys are dead. That does kind of stink. So hear me out. Here's what we're going to do, is we're going to put this Drag down here, and then we're going to descend our champion. At this point, we're just going to kind of hope for some Slade triggers, because we don't want him to die. 30 damage is pretty solid. I think we'll be able to keep things out of our Pyre for the most part. You're only taking 20 damage, but I know that we can fix that. You're probably dead a little bit sooner than we would want you to be. I think Last Stand down here is just so good, though. You're taking 20 damage, you're going to be at 54. It's going to take 2 hits to kill you, so we would be taking 24 Pyre damage. I think not. We can put a couple more Dreg units up here. Now you're taking 38, because you're taking another 18. I think that means this 30 plus 38 would be 68. So you're still not quite dead in 1 hit, so that was actually kind of pointless, but I'm okay with it. Let's go ahead and double rage on friendly units, though. I think that's huge for our first turn damage potential against the boss. And just hope they don't have sweep. You have multi-strike, but not sweep, which works out just fine, I would say. And then Armor 5 basically only allows you to block 1 more hit. But that still adds 53 more damage. I'd say that's good enough. And then let's put a Train Steward up here just to give you another 2 hits of not taking damage. So a little bit closer than you would ideally want this to be, but I think we'll be okay. So 18 damage, we can definitely get that higher. I don't think that we're going to be able to play in Flame because I want the Draft probably in the back. Now you're taking 110. And then if we put a welder helper in front, or no, we'd probably put it second. Now you're taking 168, and then we can put a steel worker up here, and then hope that we draw. I mean, what else are we going to draw? Wicked Blaze would actually be incredible. Molten Encasement would work as well for the Stealth 1. So I think we're likely to draw something that still gets this boss out of here before it gets to the Pyre. So 9 damage. I definitely think you Wicked Blaze here on a Draft or on Hornbreaker Prince. You would also last quite a while because it's 25 at a time. But I'm thinking there's just so much damage out of a Draft that we can just put you in the back. And that should do the trick. Yes, it absolutely did. Good stuff. Oh, yeah, because of the rage, you do an obscene amount of damage. That's actually perfect. Friendly units gain Extinguish. Apply armor 5 to the front friendly unit. That is so incredible because we're yeeting our imps out in front anyways. And speaking of which, I think Impressive is actually quite good for that. Extinguish summon 2 draft units, also really, really good. This is also quite good. Apply Burnout 4 and enhance friendly units with 3 times X attack. Because the thing is, if we use this on the bottom floor when we've got a lot of draft units, that's going to make them last a lot longer and do just a metric ton more damage. The thing is, these are all 3 good. Having another Reform would be nice, but I think Wax and Spike ups our damage potential to astronomical levels. So we are getting ready to fight Fel, and so we definitely need to carefully consider this one. Some coins and some spell upgrades seems pretty decent. Artifact fishing is probably better. Being able to upgrade Lady of the Reformed a little bit more would possibly be a good idea. Steelworker getting tankier would be nice. Does this side have removals? Neither side has removals. We would have to purchase them. This has gold and spells. We are adding a lot of stuff to our deck as well, and we do need to keep that in mind. Last Stand not consuming would also be hugely beneficial. It would make it cost 4, so it would have to also decrease the cost on it. But I think the more artifacts we get, the better. Or the more chances at getting the Rage artifact we need. Okay, obviously Vapor Funnel combined with Heaven's Gold is really, really good. When a friendly unit dies, enhance it with plus 10 would be so much better if we had more ways to get units back. I think Vapor Funnel is a huge pickup here. It lets us use our Pyre health as even more of a resource. And then upgrade a unit with Endless. I mean, you gotta think Molten Encasement with Endless is just ridiculously good. I've gotta say that that's exactly what we want. And then we only get one of these. Rage 7 on who? Whom? I mean, a flat 10 more damage on you is the equivalent of 5 rage stacks, but it doesn't decay. So I think that's where we're going to go. Make you do a little bit more damage, and then that's all we got. So we're going to go fight Fel, and I think this one's going to be testy, but being able to armor up our front units, I think, can add a lot of benefit. And once we set up our ridiculous bottom floor, especially if we can hit them with a big spike, I see a lot of benefit to that. So we didn't get the Endless one. That's okay. We can actually afford to play this and then one of these. I don't think adding stealth on the first turn is necessarily useful. I want to save this for later. I'm going to be honest. I want to go ahead and just set up here with the Steelworker, put Hornbreaker Prince there, and hopefully get you dead as quickly as possible. And maybe even put a Dreg right behind you, and just hope that we can get that Alabaster Guardian gone ASAP. So now we have definitely a need for more energy. Capacity isn't a problem. If we beat Fel, we need energy. I don't think there's any two ways about that. We're probably just going to have to tank the 3 damage here, and we want to get Molten Encasement ticking. So I think this is where you go Lady of the Reformed with a draft behind her. That almost kills that. Had so many of these scourges, though. I want to get this ticking. I think we do this. Give you guys stealth. You tank the hit, which is actually kind of bad. We actually probably wanted the burnout. So in hindsight, that may not have been the smartest idea. We could have just not taken the 3 damage and gotten him ticking later, but I think it'll be okay. So many Scourge cards, making our deck so much worse. So the ideal scenario is that things die on this floor, and Wickless Baron gets stronger as well. That kills you. You're going to get to our Pyre and do 1 whole damage. I don't think I care. You're dead. You're gaining +5, because when you die, you're gaining some armor. You're going to kill that unit. You're going to do 6. You're going to do 1. You're going to do... How are you not taking any damage? You don't have stealth anymore either. Oh, you're getting stealth. Sorry, duh. Of course. So just play that, and we're still taking 9 Pyre damage because of these godforsaken Scourge cards. Not killing these guys early, where they can start adding all of those bad cards to our deck, is really problematic. Actually, we didn't take any Pyre damage because of Vapor Funnel. I don't think it's time to play Last Stand yet. We definitely want to save that for a better time. Question is, do we want to play stealth on these units this time? Or play it down here? We want you to actually take some hits. Get some more burnout on these units. So I think we just play it here. Because I think we get a lot more benefit out of you guys not getting hit. Although you gaining rage stacks is also nice. And then call that good. So many dead draws in our deck now. I don't want you to live. Because we're already going to have to deal with 1 living no matter what. Stealth 1 saves you from taking 19 damage, but I actually don't want that. I think I would rather just throw a Welder Helper in front. Or no, Welder Helper behind, get you to take a bunch, or take a bunch of armor. And just try to take a little bit less Pyre damage here. I don't think Molten Encasement works too well. I'm realizing that we have units that have revenge, which means we want them to get hit, which means we care more about armor than stealth. Alright, getting a draft back here, definitely very ideal. Now you're dead before anything else happens, maybe? Throwing another Welder Helper in here is good. You're not quite getting a kill. Honestly, this time I want this one in the front. Play that, and then we need this to die. We should have played some dregs up here before. Now this at least dies. You're going to get to our Pyre, and you're going to get 1, or you're going to get 2 hits out there. Not quite what we want. So many Scourge cards, dude. We need more damage on the top floor. That's like an absolute must. So I think the way you play this is you throw a Pyre Chomper out here, get some more energy. You put a draft behind the Steelworker. Now you're dead. You play this, and then what would we even bring back? A Dreg with Wicked Blaze, I think seems kind of bad. I think you just play both of these. You're dying. You're going to provide armor to her. You're not quite dead, but you're taking a bunch of damage. I think this is okay. We're getting at least 1 more Scourge card. Maybe 2. Nope, final wave time. Okay. What a time to draw Wax and Spike. What an incredible time to draw Wax and Spike. I don't think we play it for 3. I think we put another draft down here. Now you're taking 475 and then do this. Now you're taking 673. It's actually not as much as we need it to be, but I think we're still going to be able to kill you before you get to our Pyre. Now you're taking 210. We drew 2 more drafts. We don't have enough energy to play 2 drafts and descend that one, but I think that'll be okay. We want to play you in the very back so you have the longest amount of time possible to get all your damage out there. You're going to burn out before you kill her, but only having 30 HP left means that you should 100% be dead on the next floor. Because our Steelworker has a lot more than 20 armor, and you only need to take 1 round of hits. Actually, I think you just straight up die from quick. We don't have anything that like gives us bonus gold or anything, so yeah, you just straight up die from quick. that works out. And that's exactly why I was taking all these imps, is I'm like, at some point, we're probably going to see an impalate. And then we need the energy. We're getting to the point where we have a lot of 1-cost cards, and we're drawing 4 to 5 1-cost cards that we all need to be played. So I think we're going to do the same thing that we did after the Daedalus fight. We're going to go ahead and take our upgrades here. We're going to do battle upgrades Seraph. But this is exactly the timing that I wanted. We're sitting just under 30 minutes. This is a lot more consumable, and it'll leave you guys on the cliffhanger of like, all right, I got to tune in tomorrow. I want to see if this run can beat Seraph. So I'm thinking like the Pyre health seems good. Definitely picking up some more gold. I like the removal and the unit upgrades, and obviously like Caverns can give some incredible bonuses. And we're getting the champion upgrade no matter what. Thing is, like, our spells are such a small part of our deck. And anything, well, okay, no. Just for the possible opportunity of making Wax and Spike more insanely good, I think we have to go this route. And that's literally the single greatest thing we could have asked for. 20 magic power and consume. I mean, making that do 70 or making that do 60 plus 20, I don't think I care about. Making stuff be cheaper is probably a good idea as well. We're not going to be able to get another big upgrade, so we should definitely just go ahead and do this. I think putting that on last stand is probably the right place to do it. Reroll, and then, I mean, double stack would have also been amazing for the Burnout 8. Plus 10 magic power. Probably just add another 10 to Impalate, because that's just the more playable version of Sacrifice and Imp. And then another -1, probably to Wicked Blaze. So we didn't get exactly what I was looking for, since now it's X -1. But the thing with this is now we can do this multiple times. And so basically every time we draw it, even if we just play it for 1, the Burnout 4 is incredibly useful for making sure that we keep our drafts alive. Because like if we had that one time where they all burned out because we put so many of them on the bottom floor, this would essentially negate that entirely. And then let's go ahead and grab our champion upgrade. We're looking for a big boost to attack power. Revenge gain Rage 4 might be good enough, especially since this bumps the armor up as well. It makes him tankier, and so we have to worry a little bit less about protecting him. Obviously, the Slade trigger adding armor and attack is good. But at this point, I'm actually good with the Revenge. I like that stacking, and I think this is a very logical cutoff point. Right at that 30-minute mark, I really like the way this is working out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and you're looking forward to seeing if this run is going to be able to take on Seraph and beat him. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, the single greatest thing you can do to support the channel is clicking the like button. That sends a message to YouTube that says, hey, other people might like this video as well. Let it get slurped up into the algorithm and fed out to a bunch of other people. In addition, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can check out part 3 of this run and see if we are able to get the dub. In addition, make sure you check out twitch.tv/Runt9plays 5 days a week, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Wednesday through Sunday. Playing a lot of Monster Train over there as well. Get some live feedback going in that. And you can check out discord.runt9plays.com if you want to come hang out with the community. We chatted a lot about Monster Train over there as well. It's one of the top games of 2020, I would say. But until part number 3, I'm Runt9, and I'll see you tomorrow.